Good evening, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Build a Quilt, home of Patchwork in the Hoop, and Wednesday workshop live. Live. Let me take down this little banner for you. I hope y'all are doing good. I'm Diana. It's just been a crazy couple of weeks, but I hope everybody is doing good where you're at. We have been under severe air quality alerts going on 2.5 weeks now. We've been told to wear filtering masks outside. And of course, that makes it really hard to work like out in the garden for a little while and stuff. I go out like early in the morning, early before it gets too bad, because by 10 o'clock, the air is brown here. It's really bad. And we're back up into those horrible high temperatures again. So having such a weird summer. But other than that, we're good. Like I told you guys last week, Dave is doing PT for his leg, so for his knee. So he starts that this week. But otherwise, it's just been a busy week. Busy. I'm feeling much better. Whatever cold or whatever I had has gone. Thank goodness. That was horrible. But anyway, I just wanted to welcome you all in. Thanks so much for being with us this evening. So I wanted to, first of all, say welcome to our friend Ruth. Ruth has joined our memberships as a Build a Quilter, and we just wanted to thank her for that. Thank you so much, Ruth. I appreciate your support more than you know. So just be on the lookout for your member-only videos and things like that at that level. And again, we appreciate that so very much. And let's see, who else do we have with us tonight? We have our good friend Kathy with us, all the way from rainy North Carolina. You guys getting a lot of rain, Kathy? We got some rain last week. I don't even remember anymore when it was. We are technically in drought, like severe drought right now here in our part of Illinois, which is so unusual. I mean, like it's happening more and more year after year, but it never happened when I was growing up here. It was kind of makes me sad. But yeah, we're under drought, so we have not had rain for a while. In fact, I know we haven't had rain since last week. So I hope that you guys are, you're okay, that it's not like a major flooding kind of rain. Kathy says, yay, Ruth. There you go. Thank you, Kathy. Thanks. I love how you guys encourage each other. That's so great. So if you are new with us, welcome. We are Build a Quilt, home of Patchwork in the Hoop, where we make actual, honest to goodness patchwork with the hoop of our embroidery machine, just a 5x7 hoop. We've got lots of videos here on the channel to kind of show you how that works. We're not talking about embroidery that looks like patchwork. We're talking about making your patchwork quilting blocks and tops and then quilting them in any manner that you like. Of course, we like using our embroidery machine for that too, but you can do a long arming by hand, all that kind of stuff, whatever you prefer. So we have, like I said, we have lots of videos here on the channel to kind of help you out with that. But if you are new, welcome. We're so happy to have you with us. And for all of our folks that are with us every week, of course, you guys know I love having you, and welcome back to the clubhouse. I mean, we're not a club, but I feel like I like to say welcome home, because this is where we all get together, our little quilting family. I like to think of us as. So so glad to have you all with us. Excuse me. That is not a cold cough. That is nasty air cough from outside. I went out to get the mail, and just doing that without a mask, got it all in my nose, sneezing it and stuff. Just gross. But it's from all the fires coming down from Canada and across from the west coast of the United States. That's why we've got that going on. So we've got I think we have some good memes tonight, some good cartoons. In fact, our good friend Ruth sent us our first one. And this picture is from a movie called Up. If you have never seen this film, it is a Pixar film. I don't usually come on here and like talk about films and stuff like that, right? Because we're here to talk about quilting. But if you've never seen the Pixar film Up, U-P, Up, you should watch it. It is a really heart tender film. I cried. But you guys know that doesn't take much, right? But even Dave really liked it when he saw it. It's just a really sweet film. So anyway, here's our first meme, and it's from our friend Ruth. Says, gentleman's getting out of bed and he's, his lower back. Waking up after a whole day of quilting. You know, I don't typically have a creak in my lower back, but I always have like a creak in my shoulders and my hands. My hands are like popping like crazy and stuff like that. But yes, I certainly understand that, Ruth. Waking up after a whole day of quilting, you can be a little stiff, right? Actually, that looks like Dave waking up, bless his heart, since he hurt his leg and all. Shh, don't tell him I said that. No, we won't tell him I said that. But thank you so much for sending that in, Ruth. And if you all want to send in cartoons or memes for me to show at the beginning of our Wednesday live, please do so. I'll give you the email at the end of the event, and you can do that. We love to get them from you because sometimes I can't get enough of them myself. However, I did find a couple, and I'm going to show them to you. Let me bring up the first one I want to show you. Yeah, this one I thought was kind of cute. So we have the tomato pin cushion and the sewing machine talking, and they're saying, apparently, quilting and collecting fabric are actually two separate hobbies. So I always love a good one that is about collecting fabric because, well, I told you guys, I just like halved my stash, right? I donated half my fabric in my stash. I know, but someone will use it and love it. So I loved this one. I thought it was really cute. And the look on the sewing machine's face is kind of like, yeah, no kidding, man. I getcha. So I thought this one was really cute. And then too, there's this little cute little, I don't like spiders, but he's kind of a cute little guy right there. So that's one of them that I found for us. And let me bring up this last one that I have to share. Oh, hang on here. Oh, Kathy says it's an excellent film. Kathy, you must be talking about Up. Yeah, it's such a good film. It's so, my aunts always say somebody is tender-hearted. That they say that's my problem. That's why I cry, because I'm tender-hearted. That film will make you a tender-hearted person, at least for the duration of which you watch it, because it's just so cute. I love it. I love it. It's such a sweet film. All right, so let me bring up this last meme for tonight. Now, this one tickled me. I got a really good laugh out of this one. Got four ladies who are sitting down in a ditch. They are, of course, the Stitch in the Ditch Club. Now, they're stitching in the ditch in their little handheld rings and stuff like that. I stitch in the ditch, and that's how you used to stitch in the ditch. If you didn't have a big hoop and all floor frame to put your quilt in, you would put it in a small embroidery hoop and stitch in the ditch. Way back, like 55 plus years ago, when I first learned how to quilt for my grandma, that's how they would stitch in the ditch at home, because they would have their big frame set up in like a church basement or a bank basement or wherever they met for their quilting bee. And they'd be doing their quilting there, but she would sit sometimes in hand stitch in the ditch with an embroidery hoop like this. So I thought it tickled me, to the Stitch in the Ditch Club. You know, and the thing is people think that stitching in the ditch for doing your finished quilting is easy peasy. It's like it's the easiest thing you can do. Just follow it. It isn't. It's really quite difficult, because you want to stay right in that ditch. Otherwise, you see, especially if you're using fancy colors in your thread, because if you go off just a little bit, you can see it in the pattern of your block. So I liked that one. I hope you guys like that one. I thought that one was quite funny. The Stitch in the Ditch Club. That sounds to me, so this sounds to me like they could make like a movie, right? About these women in a small town, they're quilters, they get together and like they solve the town's problems. You know, that kind of movie, right? And they call themselves the Stitch in the Ditch Club. That's what that kind of reminds me of. All righty, we'll take that one down. So those are our cartoon memes for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed them. And again, thanks to Ruth for sending me that one. if you want to send them to me, you may do so. Any ones that you find, and I'll look and see if we can use them at support@sewincommon.com. Just attach it to an email, send it to me, put like in the tagline, Wednesday workshop cartoon or meme or whatever you want to do. And I'll take a look at them. And I certainly appreciate that, because sometimes it's hard to find new ones. Like, seems like every time I type into the Google machine, quilting memes, I get the same ones I've always had. So I'm always trying to like mix up the words. So today I tried quilting cartoons, and that's where I got the two that I found. So you got to be a little inventive with the wording, I guess, to in order to bring those up so that I can see more of them. All righty. All right. Those are them. So the other thing I have really quick for you guys tonight is somebody found my Instagram page that I have for my gardening. I don't know how you guys found it. It doesn't matter to me. It's Old Farm Gardens. But I just post pictures there of flowers and arrangements and stuff I've done from the garden. But someone asked me where I got my fabric ribbon. And they were talking about this. You guys know what that is, right? I don't buy ribbon ever anymore. I've not bought ribbon in several years. I don't know how many. But all I do is take my pinking rotary cutter and I cut a 1-inch piece off of a fabric that I like that kind of goes with the colors of my wrapping paper or my gift bag or my flowers in a vase, whatever, and make my own ribbon. And the nice thing is, because it's the pinking blade, it has that little wave to it and it doesn't really fray. So, and I just do it 1 inch because then you can tie it around. You can still make a bow and stuff out of it. So if you want to make your own ribbon, that's my tip. That's my gift wrapping gardening tip for you, is make your own ribbon. You guys with the stash, you got ribbon for the rest of your lives, can I tell you? Now, if you can tell me what fabric that is from, you'll win something. I don't know. Do you know what fabric that's from? You can put it in the comments if you think you know what fabric I used for that. Okay. But that's what I do for my ribbon. Christmas, birthdays. Like I said, if I put them on a basket or a vase or anything like that, I just cut. And this way too, I'm using fabric colors that I like, that really go with. I can choose something that's really going to go with my paper or bag or flowers or whatever. So that's my deal. I think we get some. Kathy. Kathy says it's tulip pink. Kathy's right. It's tulip pink. That's a tulip pink. I don't quite know. Got like 3 yards of this stuff sitting over there. I don't know which one it is, what fabric it is, like which line it was from off the top of my head, but it is a tulip pink. Okay, Kathy. Just writing your name down here, honey, because you're gonna you'll get a little something in an email tomorrow, okay? For guessing right. Couldn't have been too hard of a guess for you though, because you know how much I love tulip pink fabric. Alrighty, so just a little bit of refresher update is the inspiration challenge that we have going on. I'm trying to find it here. Here we go. The Build a Quilt Inspiration Challenge. Alrighty. That there is a video out on that. We talked about it last week, all the details, but I just want to remind you that your deadline for getting in your block using the picture that is out on the the community section here on the channel. The due date to get your entry in is August 22nd. That's now coming up in a couple of weeks. So there was, when I first announced and we started the challenge, you had a lot of time. Now your time is like cut in half. You've got a lot less time. So if you are thinking about doing it or you are doing it, let's just remember that's your due date for getting your entry in. You need to send an email with your name, the colors that you picked from the inspiration photo, and how you were inspired, and 2 or 3 pictures of your block or your mini quilt, whatever you made, so that we can see it from different ways. Okay. So that's what needs to go in the email, plus your pictures. And then the winners, the 3 grand prize winners, will be announced on August 31st in a live session. August 31st, they'll be, that's a Sunday, so it'll probably be in the afternoon. But that will be on the 31st, and the winners will be receiving the Build A Quilt Basic Combo Set Minis, the brand new mini set that comes out for sale on the 1st of September, but 3 grand prize winners are going to win it. So it's this original combo set, but in the wee little mini sizes, okay? So that's something you guys have been wanting. We've been working on it. And I thought, what a better way to do that than to do 3 grand prize winners. Plus, I have some other prizes that folks can win too. We'll be randomly handing those out. So you'll want to make sure and stay tuned for that on the 31st. I'll give you a time when we go live closer to that time frame. But please, if your piece comes in on the 23rd of August, it's too late and it won't be counted. It has to be in by 11:59 and 59 seconds on the 22nd of August, okay? All righty. All right, let's see here. Kathy says it might be Tiny Beasts Deer. Tell me the size of your block again, please. Oh, the block for the challenge, Kathy, is a 10 by 10. It's this block. It's this 10 by 10. Or if you want to do a different Build A Quilt block in around that size, 10 to 12 inches, something like that, you can do that. Okay. There you go. All the information is in that video for the size and all of that kind of stuff. Alrighty. Okie dokie. So last week we talked about filler blocks. We're in a little progression of things on Wednesday night now, talking about filler blocks that tend to make up sometimes almost the bulk of our quilts. We never really think about the filler blocks because we're typically like all excited and working on the fancier blocks, but truly the filler block can almost be the majority of some quilts. Okay, so last week we talked about the pinwheel, the basic pinwheel, and the inset pinwheel. And I went ahead and sewed this one together. Isn't it great when it's sewn together, how it's inside the overall square? I really like this as a filler block. I like this as cornerstone blocks. Between, you have a cornerstone and then your, gosh, I'm losing my words. Your, well, that's gone out of my head. Shoot. Oh, I can't believe I can't, I was just thinking about it earlier. Not your sashing, border. Thank you. So you have your, gosh, you have your cornerstone, your border piece, and another cornerstone. That's great for cornerstones, but I really like this one as an inset. Smashing, not sashing, smashing. Is that what you're saying, Kathy? So I think it's between the borders, the border fabric. That's what I was thinking of. So that's what we talked about last week, because you can do that filler block in 2 ways. Now, I heard from a couple of people who said, that block can be used as a fancy block. Well, yes, it can be. You're absolutely right. But these blocks I'm calling filler blocks aren't blocks I tend to use as the majority of a quilt, like as the fancy part of the quilt. But if you want to, go for it. We're just kind of like, that would be a fancy block, a fancy block, a fancy block. It's got more to it, right? More substance to it than something that just kind of fills in the rest of the quilt like that would. But it's entirely up to you. Kathy says her dog is typing. That's all right. I know what you meant, Kathy. I read dog, apparently. That's cool, right? All righty. So that was last week. This week, we're going to talk about a block that can also kind of be used in a couple of ways. And I know some of you are going to say, oh, no, that's a fancy block. And yes, you can do a whole quilt. To be honest, I'm not wild about block quilts that are made only of this block. Sorry. That's just me. You might love them, and that's cool. That's fine. It's just I always have used this block we're talking about tonight as a filler. And that block it's a very old block. It's a very nice block. It is who can name this block? Before I say it, who can name it? Go ahead and put it in the comments if you know what this block is. It's not a test, but if you know what it is, put it in. All right. It is the turn dash block. Okay. It's a very old block. Again, like I said, I don't like it as for myself as a block that gets used in the whole quilt as the whole main part of the quilt. Yes, Kathy, it is the turn dash. But I love this block as a filler block because I can do it a couple of ways. So here's, I think this one is an 8-inch. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, sorry. This is a 7-inch turn dash. And you can make these whatever size you want. This one is 1, 2, 3. This is a 5-inch turn dash. Actually made them all in the same fabric. This is a 3-inch turn dash. A itty bitty turn dash. Okay. I love them as filler blocks because I want to talk about how this gets made. You have the half square triangle. You have one square, and that's an area that can be used to change it. And then you have a split rail block. And did you notice in this split rail, in all three of these, the split rail here is very thin. So the top and the bottom rail are very thin split rails. And this is kind of the most traditional, the thinner split rail, okay? But there's 3 segments, the square, the half square triangle, and the split rail, okay? You can make it in any size you want. However, if you can make this right now with your Build a Quilt basic combo set. Look at this one. Now, I actually like that one. I think it's very pretty because I like the fabric. But again, half square triangle, square. But this middle square is a little bit smaller because the split rail is thicker. Each rail is like double the width or the height, whatever you want to call this measurement here, of this one. So this one has a thinner split rail. This one has a much thicker split rail. This is much more pronounced to me than this one is. And you end up using a smaller square in the center. Now, I like this size, and this size can be made in any of the sizes that you have a pattern for in the set, right? Because you've got the split rail, you've got the square, and you've got the half square triangle in there. So you can do this in 3 or 4 different sizes from that set. It's a great filler block. But so that's one difference, how you do your split rail. If you were going to do this churn dash and use it as a fancy block, I might use this one. It just has more oomph to it to me. But if you can do this next part with either one, but if you're going to use this one, see how big this block is? It seems, I think there's just too much, this seems like too much empty space here for me. Now, as a filler block, if I really want this background color to be like seen, this is a good one to do because you've got a lot of background fabric in here. And the dash itself might be one of the other fabrics in your quilt, right? So this could be some other fabric in the quilt. This could be the background fabric in the quilt. And that way you're going to see a lot more of your background. Okay. And if you don't know what churn dash is for, a churn dash is the long piece and the paddles at the bottom of a butter churn. That's where that comes from. It's a churn and a dash. Okay. So this one works really well if you really want that background color to be more prominent, right? You don't want other things taking up its space. However, if you want to make this block more special, more fancy, substitute this square for another square of that size, maybe a pinwheel. It's not a churn dash technically anymore, but if you put a pinwheel in there, that would be super cute. Right? I like that. What do you guys think if you put that in there? But here's my other thought. Now, I didn't cut these out because I didn't make my churn dashes so they could use this. But I have this piece of Tula Pink fabric. Remember her homemade collection? I still have a ton of it in my stash. This is one I did not get rid of because I absolutely love it. But I love the machine and the flowers. Now, what I'm talking about here, using this for, is to put a fussy cut piece in here. So maybe your fabric that is being used is has like from a collection, you're not using every piece in the collection, but there's a focal fabric in that collection that could be fussy cut to go in the centers of these throughout the quilt. So you're seeing your fancy blocks in this collection of fabric. You've got your background here, and this is from the collection. And then one of the focal pieces can be cut to go in here as a fussy cut, just like we could do that with this if our block was big enough. And I wouldn't have to use this whole piece. I could just fussy cut the machine if I wanted, or maybe I wanted just to fussy cut that gorgeous flower. I could do that. So here's another fabric that might be easier to see that. So this is not a Tula Pink. This is a Kimberbell fabric. It's an older one from a few years ago. And it's just a really pretty print on a polka dot background. But if you look at it, let me unfold it even more. If you look at it, there are pieces like this that are pretty good size that could be focal pieces for a center of a churn dash as a fussy cut piece. So maybe your quilt is done in reds and blues and yellows and greens, maybe some completely different fabric line, but you have a fabric that has a design that fits in the center of your churn dash as a fussy cut that goes with it. That's the way you make your quilt really pop. It adds that extra dimension, that extra style quotient to your quilt. Remember when we did the, the easiest quilt along, the first one we did in the year, and you were told that you could put fussy cut blocks in? That's what you could do with this and a churn dash. You could make your square into a piece of fussy cut, and that would really make your whole quilt stand out. It adds that texture that we talk about, but that really ups your design quotient. It takes it from just kind of a pretty to a wow kind of a quilt when you do something like that. And that's kind of what I want to share with you with some of these filler blocks. Some of them can be done in different ways, like last week's pinwheel, depending on how you do it, changes like how your colors flow and things like that. But with a filler block like a churn dash, you can really up your whole design quotient. And it doesn't take much to do that. It can be really simple to do that just by choosing another fabric, a focal fabric piece from the collection that you're already using and putting that square in there. So again, and you could even do it with a baby one if you had something small enough to go in there. I like baby ones like this 3-inch size. I love these for those cornerstones. Just like I was saying, I like that for cornerstones, that pinwheel. The baby churn dash works too. Now, I had a question from someone who said it wasn't this block, but it was the diamond in a square block. She contacted me and said, can I use that to make a border? Can I make a whole inner border? So she's got her quilt. Then she has a first border, a second border, and a third border on this quilt that she's making. Her first border, second border, sorry. Her first border is just a solid fabric. The second border, like the main border that you're going to see, she wanted to know if she could do it all in diamonds in a square, that particular segment piece, and have them and use the fabrics from the interior part of the quilt. Can you do that? Can you use that as for making a border? And the answer is absolutely you can. Now, remember, that's a lot more work than just making borders that are a solid color, but wow, does that up your design quotient in a quilt. And if you're thinking about, see, it's so humid that I'm getting moisture on my glasses. If you are thinking about like entering a quilt into, say, like right now is a great time. It's county fair time and quilts are being shown all over the place, especially in our area. So if you're thinking about like entering in a county fair or entering in a competition or just entering in a show, first of all, let me say, if you do that, don't be worried about or concerned that you're not a good enough quilter. Just do it for the first time, get your feet wet, and you might find that you love it. Some people really dislike being in competition, and I am one of them. I don't put my quilts in competition. I judge competitions, but I don't put my quilts in competition. I just don't care for it. My grandmother did, and she had more ribbons than I can count. She won a lot of stuff for her quilts. But if you're going to try it, then try it. Don't let fear of not being good enough hold you back, because you are good enough. And with Build a Quilt, it's so much easier to be really accurate. So just give it a try. I think you might find that you like it, or you might find that you don't. But I just want to encourage you that if you want to, do it. But if you're going to do a design and put it in a competition, then yes, making a whole border out of churn dashes or diamonds in a square, whatever, really ups your design quotient. That takes you from a nicely mentioned quilt to possibly being in that upper winning area, like for second, third prize, fourth prize, maybe even, because it shows that you went beyond the basics. And as a quilt judge, I'm always writing on people's cards, remember to go beyond the basics next time. Your quilt was lovely, it was great, but go beyond the basics. And if they're brand new, I'll say something like, this was a fantastic beginner quilt. Now that you know these basics, try to go one level up. And I give them like an example of that so they understand what I'm talking about. And they'll re-enter the next year, and they will have done that. And sometimes they become winners even in their second year or so. But if you're making let's not talk about competition anymore. Let's talk about, you're making a quilt as a gift for a newly married couple, or an anniversary, a 50th anniversary present, maybe. Making that extra border, going to that extra above and beyond with making your border out of filler blocks, that shows an extra step that you've gone above and beyond for these folks that you're making the quilt for. It makes it truly a treasure for them that they'll want to pass down throughout their family. So that's what filler blocks can do, other than just filling in the background of your quilts. They can be used in other ways, like borders, like cornerstones, things like that. So again, try a churn dash with a fussy cut or something else in place of this square. So this square is, let me just measure here. This inner square is a 4-inch. So do a different 4-inch block. Maybe do a 4-inch pinwheel in the second. Just see what it looks like. Make your segments, put it together and see what it looks like and see what you think. Be really cool that way. Or your fussy cut, or try making one with where the split rail is wider, where your churn dash is more pronounced. Okay. All righty. So that is this week's filler block, the churn dash. And we've got several more weeks where we're going to talk about filler blocks, because I went through today. Do I have them sitting here? Oh no, they're sitting over there. I have like at least 3 or 4 more picked out. So we're going to continue this series for a couple of weeks. If you guys are enjoying it, can you let me know in the comments? Are you liking going through these blocks and finding different ways to use them as filler and border and things like that? Please let me know, because I have several picked out that I want to go through with you guys, which I think will really help you, because a lot of you have written and said, I want to start putting my own quilts together, but I'm like not sure what things go together. This should help you with that. Okay. All righty. Okay. Oh, we are definitely going to be done early tonight. So that's this week's filler block. Kathy says she likes it. Thanks, Kathy. I'm so glad. Let me talk now briefly to Quilt Lab subscribers. Okay. This Sunday is the 10th. That's when your next mini quilt for August is coming out. And last week I asked Quilt Lab subscribers to email me their physical mailing address, because I have something I have to send you. I've only received one little finger's worth. So I need them right away. Okay. I'll send out another message email in the morning. But if you're here tonight, please send me that your mailing address at, there we go, at this email address, because I want to get those packages. I've got the last bit of packages. I want to get them sent out between now and the 15th of this month. Okay. And also in the email, I'll also be letting you know that the quilt along is starting. The Quilt Lab subscriber only quilt along is starting on September 7th. Okay, that's when we're starting it. You'll get more information in the email. But please send me, folks, your address for that. Okay, so I can get those things sent out to you. Thank you so much. Now we have a question of the week. We didn't have a question of the week last week, but I have one this week, and it's a fun one. The question of the week game is super simple. I put a question up. Could be about quilting, could be about hot chocolate, could be about snow. Just fun questions. You guys answer in the comments, and then we talk about the answers, and you guys always give great answers. I love them. And then I do a spinny wheel thing that I don't look at because it gives me vertigo. And it picks a winner at random, and you get a $5 gift certificate in an email. I'll tell you more how to get that. for our website. So let me share with you the question of the week. I know it's here. There we go. Okay. So I was thinking about this one this week because it's been so hot. So this is not Starbucks, but I have one of these metal like chiller things. Have you guys tried the bubbly water? It's water that is it's not heavily carbonated. I don't drink soda at all. Haven't for, gosh, almost a decade probably. And I don't drink sweetened drinks. But this bubbly water is a slightly carbonated, and it does have flavor to it, but I can't taste it because I don't have any taste or smell anymore. But Dave likes the taste, the different flavors. So I just drink the lemon lime one because why buy something special when I can't really tell? But I love it because for some reason, even though it's just ever so slightly carbonated, it is super refreshing. So hang on. Soothe my throat. It's really good. It's really good. It's called bubbly water, Bubbly, I think, or something. It's really good. A friend of mine told me about it. Here's the question of the week. What is your favorite summer dessert? Icebox cheesecake, ice cream sandwiches, ice cream sundaes. I have an ice cream theme going on there. Fresh fruit and berries with fresh whipped cream. What's your favorite summer dessert? Let us know in the comments, and then we will pick a winner. All righty. That's the question of the week. What is your favorite summer dessert? Don't forget, folks, I will share your name and all with others and here on the website too when you join our memberships. We talked about that last week, and I do have a short 9-minute video here on the site, on the channel, that tells you all about memberships. We have 2 YouTube memberships for the channel. It's your way to support Build a Quilt so that I can keep bringing more videos, more member only videos. That's one of the benefits and one of the levels, and more patterns and things for us to do. And trust me, your support means the world to me. It's how I can keep this going. So you can do that through the main page here at the channel. You just up underneath the main picture and all where it says subscribe, there's a button that says join, and it will show you everything on there. And in advance, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Let's see what some of our favorite breads are. Somebody said a bread, obviously, because I've just now given that away. Let's see, Ohio mom, Bonnie, right? It's Bonnie, I think. Bonnie says zucchini bread. Oh, Bonnie. You and I need to talk and swap zucchini bread stories, because if you are like us here, we let like one person in the neighborhood grow the zucchini in their garden, because otherwise we are burying zucchini to get rid of it, because it grows like a weed here, right? I mean, it super grows like a weed. So I agree with you though. I love zucchini. I love zucchini bread when it's warm, and I like to take and warm up just a little bit of like a little bit of flavored coffee creamer or something like that, and just drizzle a little bit over it when it's warm and eat it with, oh, so good. Yes, zucchini bread. That's a great one, Bonnie. Thank you for sharing with us. Kathy says, oh my goodness, this is so good. Kathy says, homemade pound cake with fresh strawberries, blueberries, and whipped cream. Yum. Oh, so I have, this is a dessert that I make quite often. When Dave and I were married, I was given the Betty Crocker Homemakers cookbook, the red and white checked one. It's either Betty Crocker's or Home and Garden, something. Anyway, it's the famous red and white checked one. I was given one at my bridal shower back. I don't even know if they do those things anymore, but I was given one. And in there is a pound cake recipe that's called the Busy Day Cake. It's supposed to be for really busy young housewives that need to make a dessert for their husband when they come home. I'm not being negative about homemakers. My mother, although she did work when I was little, once my brother was born, she stayed home. And I loved that she did that. I loved that I had a mom that was at home, that when I got home, she'd be home. So I am in no way making fun of housewives. But I was never one of them because I was in school and grad school and working, and so was Dave. So I was just a different generation. But that's the kind of thing, that's the kind of pictures and all that are in this book. But that busy day cake is a really quick pound cake recipe. Delicious. I make it to this day. It's really super simple to make too. When they say busy day, it is. You can like whip it up in 5 minutes, put it in the oven, let it bake for like 20 minutes or something, 25 minutes, put it on the stove to let it cool, and it's ready. It's super quick. And we love fresh strawberries or blueberries, or depending on the time of the year, fresh peaches and fresh whipped cream on it. Oh, so that sounds delicious. Oh my goodness. Bonnie says she likes her zucchini bread with cream cheese. Oh my gosh. See, I'm a little nuts about the cream cheese. I love cream cheese. I have to stay away from it though. It's not good for my waistline. But oh, I love it. That sounds good. So Bonnie, do you use the whipped kind or the kind that's like on the brick? What do you use? Because I kind of like the whipped kind because it spreads so easy. I would think that might be good on a bread too, because it can be kind of fragile. But let us know. I would love that. We might have to do a whole recipe sharing night one night, because you guys are now making me either as long as it's cream cheese, right? I get that. Yeah, I get that. Kathy says, great book. It is a great book. I still use it today. I mean, I don't really cook from a cookbook. I am an avid cooker, chef. I'm not a chef, but a cook. I love cooking, but I was taught a very long time ago that if you know how like different seasonings and foods profiles taste together, you can cook without a recipe. And so I'm a dash of this, a bit of that kind of a cook. My best friend's mom, who's Italian, taught me how to cook. And because by the time my mom stopped working, when my brother was born and started learning to really cook, I already knew how to cook. So she and I would just cook together. It was a lot of fun. I liked that. It was great fun, but I love cooking. But sometimes I will look through that book, especially. So Dave is the baker in the family. I will just be honest. That man can bake the socks off of any fancy schmancy bakery chef or pastry chef I've ever seen or heard of. His baking is delicious. But sometimes, like if we're having a get together, the baking falls to me as well. I can do it, but if I bake, I follow a recipe, and that book has some good stuff in it. So, alrighty. So, zucchini bread, pound cake with strawberries, blueberries, whipped cream. You guys are making me so hungry. Anybody else? Does anybody else want to put in an answer for tonight? Any questions about our filler block for tonight, the churn dash? Now, this would be kind of cool. Churn dashes can actually be made in a lot of ways if you look them up. I put this little one in the center here. What about doing a small one in the center of a big one? That could be kind of cool, right? I like that. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. I like that. Yeah, that could be good. Alrighty, no more answers? Okay, that's all right. Then let me click it. I'm not looking. Ohio mom. Bonnie says, cute. Cute. You must be talking about the square, Bonnie. Hang on. Let me take that down. Let me spin again. Oh, it didn't spin. Hang on. Well, guess what? It's still Bonnie. It's still Ohio mom. So, Bonnie, you are the winner of our question of the week. So what you need to do, my dear, is send me an email at supportandsewincommon.com. Just put like Wednesday workshop in the winner or something in the tagline, and inside you can say, hi, Diana, whatever. You can send me your zucchini recipe. And I will return that email to you tomorrow with a gift certificate to our website. Good for anything over at the website. Alrighty. So thank you all for playing tonight. We are going to get done just a few minutes early. If you need to contact me, you can do so at that email. Our website is www.mybuildaquilt.com. And that's where you can find all of our patterns. That's where you can find the big combo set, which we use all the time for making our blocks and our quilts and stuff. All of that is over there. Let's see, we have some. Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome, Bonnie. Very, very welcome. So you can find all of that over at the website. Again, please watch that little video and think about becoming a member here at the channel. We would appreciate that. No end, seriously. And until next time, everybody, you guys know that I think quilting is an art form. Say it with me. It's an art form. We are artists and we make the world a beautiful place. Yes, we do. So go out and quilt life beautiful, everybody. And I'll see you all next week. Be on the lookout. I do have some videos coming out this week. I meant to get them out the end of last week, but things got a little tied up and busy with trips to PT and stuff like that. But I do have some new videos coming out for us this week. So until next time, have a great rest of your week. Bye for now, everybody.